Namo Buddhaya. Welcome back to Monks in the Morning from Colombo Dhamma Friends of Mahamaonawa. We're so glad that you're joining us today. Today, we're going to learn about the meaning of the word arahaṁ. I know you've said this word maybe even 100 times before. It's one of the qualities of the Supreme Buddha that we recite in the Itipiso gatha. And to understand the meaning of arahaṁ, we're going to learn how the Supreme Buddha was undefiled. Have you ever heard that word, defilement, before? In general, we can say that a defilement is anything that pollutes or makes something dirty. It's a fancy word, so we usually use it to talk about our minds. In our minds, things like greed, hatred, jealousy, pride, and anger are all different kinds of defilements. In the sermon, we'll hear an example of how the Supreme Buddha's mind was completely free from defilements. We'll also recite the Angulimala Paritta in Pali and English, so get your chanting book ready or click on the show notes link to read together with us online. Now let's take the refuges and the precepts.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Saṅghaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Say after me, I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies. I observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs. With the refuge of the Noble Triple Gem, I observe these precepts. for happiness in this life, for rebirth in heaven, to escape from the sufferings of samsara. May it help me. May it be a blessing. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Meritorious children, so far we have learned many suttas, many jataka stories, dhammapada stories, and similes. So we have learned the Buddha's teachings from different categories, from different sectors. Sometimes from the Sutta Pitaka, sometimes from the Vinaya Pitaka. So, lot of children and even a lot of parents do not know the Buddha's great qualities. If someone asks the great qualities of the Buddha, a lot of people do not know. But if you ask them, they have chanted those qualities in Pali, but without knowing the meaning they have chanted. What is this? What is this? Well, what is that we have been chanting for a long time without knowing the meaning? That is just one stanza. That is Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vidya Charana Sampanno Sugato Lokvido, and so on. We have been chanting this in front of the Buddha statue, at the monasteries, at the Bodhi trees, at home, but very few people know the meaning of these words. They are the great qualities of the Buddha. They are the great qualities that each and every Buddha get. All the Buddhas obtain these 9 qualities. Now in future the Maitreya Buddha will appear. Even the Maitreya Buddha will appear, will have these 9 great qualities. Before the Gautama Buddha appeared in this world, Kashyapa Buddha appeared in India. Even the Kashyapa Buddha obtained these 9 great qualities. So when we chant these great qualities, Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho, we should know the meaning, children. So today we are going to learn the first quality, that is the Arahant quality. So Arahant means Buddha was undefiled. What Buddha was? Undefiled. Now our nature is we are defiled. Now children, what's the meaning of undefiled and defiled? There are only 2 words. The good quality is undefiled, the bad quality is defiled. So now this Dhamma was, the Buddha taught the Dhamma for the people who are defiled, to become undefiled. Now Buddha preached this Dhamma being undefiled for others to become undefiled. That's the secret. Now we are suffering from anger. What is that? That is a defilement. We are suffering from lust. When we see beautiful things, when we see things that does not belong to us, we need them. And when we see things that we can't get at all, we suffer. And we need them. And we cry for them. We work for them. We suffer for them. We even break precepts sometimes to get things what we want. Why is that? Our mind is defiled, children. Our mind is defiled. So, with what our mind is defiled? Our mind is defiled by anger, or by desires, by lust, or by sadness, by delusion. So, our mind is defiled by lust, anger, and delusion. But the Buddha's mind was undefiled. He had none passion. He had none hatred. He had none delusion. Vita ragi, vita dosi, vita mohi. So Arahant means, children, the Buddha was undefiled. He eradicated all the defilements. He eradicated the desire for seeing forms. He eradicated the desire to hear sounds. He eradicated the desire to smell odors. Now some children are waiting to go home and to play and just to eat something. If you die in the middle of the day, what happens? In the past, you know that now you have learned Dhamma for a long period, children. You know, there was one monk, he got a robe and he washed it and put on the clothesline, having the hope to wear it on next day. But in the middle of the night, the monk passed away. And this monk was born as an insect on that robe. This was a monk who has been practicing Dhamma for a long period. But then, due to lack of mindfulness, he had to suffer for 7 days as an insect. And just because there was Buddha alive, Buddha told the other monks not to touch that robe, don't take that robe. If the other monks would have taken that robe, that insect would get angry with those monks, and that insect would be born in the hell or among the ghosts, or else he would have again become an insect. Now, Buddha helped that insect. Buddha told the other monks not to take the robe until 7 days. Let that insect to stay without getting angry on that robe. Finally, being thankful to the Buddha, being grateful to the Buddha, that insect was born among devas, was born among divine beings, just because he did not get angry. Just because that insect did not get angry. Now today, who is there for us to help us to not to get angry? In school, just imagine, children, think about your friends. The majority of your friends, if you make a mistake, they are waiting to laugh at you. If you slip, if you fall down, they are waiting to laugh at you. When you lose in a game, they are waiting to laugh at you. They are waiting to bully you. You might have 1 or 2 friends who will be there to give a hand, to help you, and who will be there when you fall in trouble. But more people are there to put you in trouble. So imagine, children, understand the danger. So when we have a lot of people, when the majority of the people around us are with less qualities, what happens to us? We get angry, we suffer, we regret, then all the problem arises, and then we can't concentrate on our studies. And then we can't pay attention to what we should pay attention in our lives. We will get fed up. Then we will start hating others. We will start disliking others. Children, why? We have a defiled mind. What do we have? A defiled mind. So that monk was born among devas because the reason, while he was a monk, he did other good qualities even though he had some lack of mindfulness. So that's why, children, as humans, even though you are children, we are humans. We are depending on karma. Good karma and bad karma both. And karma is not something that you can erase. Karma is not something that you can just skip. The karma is something that can be abandoned with the power of wholesome deeds and with the help of Noble Eightfold Path. So the Buddha's great quality was, Buddha was an Arahant. He was endowed with the quality of an Arahant. He walked with an undefiled mind. He stood with an undefiled mind. He lied down with an undefiled mind. He was seated with an undefiled mind. But understand, think about our nature, children. We are always defiled. That's why we are interrupted. That's why we get distracted. So for us to develop an undefiled mind, to have an undefiled mind, we should find a teacher who is and who was undefiled, who developed a mind to such a great stage. So the Blessed One, our Buddha, he is known as an Arahant. We call him an Arahant because the Buddha was free from all the defilements. One day, children, I'll tell you a nice story to learn and understand how much our Buddha was undefiled. Our Blessed One, Shakya Muni Gautama Buddha, the Shakyan sage, the Shakyan Muni. So the Blessed one day some religious sectors, they killed a woman and hid in the Jetavana monastery, and then they made a story that Blessed One has killed this lady. Children, what happened? After the Blessed One started preaching Dhamma, people from other religions became Buddhists. So the other religious leaders were angry with the Buddha because they could not bear. Why? They had a defiled mind. They preached Dhamma to their disciples, having a defiled mind to develop a defiled mind. But the Blessed One taught others to develop an undefiled mind by having an undefiled mind. That's the difference between a Buddha and other people. Then, so these religious sectors, one leader, they got angry with the Buddha and they wanted to make a story and reduce the fame of the Buddha, to reduce the power of the Buddha, to distract the people and get the Buddha's people back to them. But children, if a disciple went for refuge to the Buddha, they went wholeheartedly by knowing the Buddha's teachings. And after they started practicing the Buddha's teachings, even they were undefiled. They became undefiled and they really understood that Buddha's teachings are equal to all, and what Buddha realized was a true nature that exists in this world that was hidden. It was realized by a Buddha, and he revealed to the beings to understand and to escape from suffering. That's the secret of a Buddha. It's not a personal teaching that is only common to the Buddhist. That's the true nature for all beings. If there's a solution to overcome anger, that's a solution. That solution is something that exists in this world. The solution is seeing good in others, having wise consideration. Then one of the religious teacher, they took that dead body, they killed the girl, and then they hid in the Jetavana monastery, and they took it out from that pit, and then they kept on their shoulders. 6 people kept on the shoulders, kept on a bed, and took that bed to their shoulders, and they went around Savatthi. Savatthi is a city where Jetavana monastery was located. They went around the Savatthi from each road. In each road they went and they said, "Look, the Blessed One has killed a woman." But children, the wise people understood and knew what has happened. The unwise people, they were deceived. But then, now just imagine, people are taking a dead body, a dead woman's body around the Savatthi. Now, did the Buddha go to the divine world when he had the problem like this? Did Buddha left India and go to a different country? No. Buddha had patience. He knew what exactly happened. He had the power to see other people's minds. Children, after 7 days, the people who killed that lady, they take alcohol. They do bad things. So one day when they were drunk, these people, the people who killed that lady, they started fighting each other. They fought and then they revealed what they did. Finally, all the people knew what happened. If today, such a thing happened to us, what would happen to us children? People, when they get blamed from others, they leave countries and go. They don't come back to the home country. Some people, they become mad. They go to a different place. But the Blessed One never ran away from problems. With the power of patience, since he had an undefiled mind, he remained still. And Buddha never lived to get praise from others. Buddha never lived to get gains from others. He lived to help others to develop an undefiled mind. So, children, we are very fortunate to learn about the Buddha. Today we learned the first quality. There are more things to learn about the Buddha's undefiled mind. So in upcoming day, let's learn more qualities of the Buddha and more stories about the Buddha's undefiled mind, and develop a happy mind and have confidence and have a strong mind and direct our minds towards the Buddha and get the refuge from a Buddha and live according to the Buddha and like the Buddha and have that happy mind until we die and until we attain Nibbana. So today we learn about the first quality, that is the quality that's the Arahant quality. So by the power of this quality, may you be able to have an undefiled mind and go for refuge to the Buddha who was undefiled, who was an Arahant, and may we have the protection from the Buddha, and may we realize the noble Dhamma and realize the Buddha's teachings in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Paritta chanting. Angulimala Paritta. Turn to page 171 in your chanting book. I think you remember the story of the Arahant Angulimala, how he murdered many, many people. But he was still able to attain enlightenment because of his association with the greatest friend in the world, the Supreme Buddha. You may also remember how one day the Arahant Angulimala saw a woman giving birth. She was really suffering a lot, and Arahant Angulimala wanted to help. So the Supreme Buddha gave him this Paritta verse. Now let's chant it together.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Parittanyang bhanantassa nisinnatthana dhovanang udakampi vinaseti sabbameva parissayang satthina gabhavuttanang yancha sadheti tankhane terassangulimalassa lokanathena bhasitang kappatai mahatejang parittang tang bhanamahe. Even the water that is used to wash the seat which Arahant Angulimala sat on and recited this paritta, that water can end all sufferings. If a pregnant mother suffers from any pain, she will be well and be strong enough to stand instantly. Now we shall recite that very powerful paritta taught by the Buddha to Arahant Angulimala, which will hold its power for an aeon. Yatoham bhagini ariyaya jatiya jato nabhijanami santicca panang jivita voropeta tena saccena sothite hotu sotti gabbhasati. Sister, from the day I was born in the noble birth which leads to supreme Nibbana, from that day on I am not aware of myself killing any living beings deliberately. By this truth, may you be well. May the delivery of your child be peaceful. Etena saccena suvatti hotu. By this truth, may there be well-being. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Gatha. Verses of Arahant monks.
The verses of Arahant Girimananda. The rain falls musically. My small hut is well roofed. The window is also closed. This is very comfortable. I live with a calm mind. Therefore, rain cloud, rain as much as you want. The rain falls musically. My small hut is well roofed. The window is also closed. This is very comfortable. I live with a peaceful mind. Therefore, rain cloud, rain as much as you want. The rain falls musically. My small hut is well roofed. The window is also closed. This is very comfortable. I live with a lust-free mind. Therefore, rain cloud, rain as much as you want. The rain falls musically. My small hut is well roofed. The window is also closed. This is very comfortable. I live with a hate-free mind. Therefore, rain cloud, rain as much as you want. The rain falls musically. My small hut is well roofed. The window is also closed. This is very comfortable. I live with a delusion-free mind. Therefore, rain cloud, rain as much as you want. These verses were said by Arahant Quality.
It was great to spend time with you again today. We hope that you learned something new, and we really hope that you can use what you learned as you go about the rest of your day. Today, we can continue to think about defilements in our minds. Once we start to recognize the ways that our mind gets in trouble, like being greedy or mean or angry, then we can start to see what the Supreme Buddha taught us to overcome these problems. Remember, any problem that we've ever had in our mind, our Supreme Buddha not only overcame that problem, but he taught us ways to do the same thing. Now let's share merits. May all heavenly beings, may our teachers, our parents, rejoice in all the merit that we've collected today. May they have happy minds thinking about these wholesome actions, and may they soon experience for themselves the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.